All systems have been alerted to your presence, sir.
I have a very bad feeling about this.
I hope you know what you're doing.
The Emperor has been expecting you.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Toy Chest, our bi-weekly show. Well, kind of bi-weekly. I mean, we are doing this 2 Mondays in a row, but that's because we had to get to episode 25. So this is episode 25, March 3rd, 2025. So a milestone for our little spin-off show from the Starlight Digest, right? So always fun to celebrate milestones. I'm your host, Darth Moocher. I've got Scott Solo here.
What's up, nerds?
From the Shadow Nose Network, which is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Alexander Storm.
Thank you, sir.
the vastly growing channel that's probably going to just surpass all of us, and we're going to have to pay Tommy from Bliss Transmissions.
Ooh, what's going on, everybody? Hello there. How we doing?
Good. And then we've got an explosive chat. Explosive. They've been in there since this morning.
Yes. Seriously.
Just real fast. I just wanted to just Commander Bly paying his way to the first, which is always great. Thank you so much, Commander Bly. Hopefully that you're not working hard right now because we've got some toys to talk about. But before we get into it, our Shadow Council is our Patreon version. If you want to click on that or scan that QR code, find out what it's all about. There's some really cool thing going on right now about building out our mascot that you could be directly involved, or they were directly involved with, that's ever growing. So I will talk about that in a little bit. But Wednesday, you guys take center stage, get the proper shout out. So anyway, do some proper housekeeping. Shadow Council, that's where it's at right there. Let's see. Scott, you want to take the pit, or you want me to you got this? Because it's
go for it.
All right,
you go for it, man.
Stu John Jedi, always first, and happens to be last too. I mean, he's on it. He's really focused. So I just want I got to give him the credit, right? So
Stu John is actually in the lead for the last off for the prize. We'll go over that a little bit later.
Step it up, Bly. Step it up.
No, stop working. What is this? Justin Hoover, the movie guy. Yeah, he doesn't understand the decision to do a fan stream on the week of Toy Fair. Am I missing something? See you at 8:30. Well, we'll get into it. We will definitely get into it because there may be a reason for it. There's Commander Bly, and we got Hal Runner Base. We got who else? I know there's more. There's Rhino Hobbies, of course. There's more. Hold on. Let me scroll. I keep scrolling because the conversation is going. Evening, fellas. William Rodriguez. We've got the Max Rebo Experience. We've got Basil G. Oh man, Trevor Ritchie is checking in. Phantom Menace Dennis.
Yeah.
We've got Nicholas H. Where are you? There you are. Thanks. The Force Scott is back this week to represent. Was he gone?
Happy Meals.
I didn't even notice. I didn't even notice he was gone.
Wow.
Wow. Santo 1414 is checking in. So, all right, guys. Oh, wait. So, hey, if you're not here to get Raz, then
that's true.
You get it when you get back. It is your fault.
Yeah,
it is your fault. Real fast. Let's see here. There's a couple things that dropped over the week. One of them being Scott Solo did a tour of his toy room. This is an updated one. It's on our page. If you want to go out there and check it out, leave a comment and see if there's anything else you want him to focus on, a different shelf, a line or something like that, and please do.
There's a lot of stuff I glossed over. So if you saw something that I passed by, just let me know what it is, and I'll do one of my 1-minute shorts on it. And, I'll add that to the list of things to talk about.
Yes. We got Genobi checking in also. Yeah, great video. Great tour. I know Tommy has done a tour, and I've watched it a few times.
Yes.
And I know that's ever growing. So so now I'm like getting in this obsession of like room tours. I'm like, okay, I gotta do it, but it's a mess. Like this way of the camera is an absolute mess. So
this friggin' guy right here, Scott's collection is mid.
Commander Bly, like I'm praising it. I've been there. It's all right. I mean, I only trip over the barge, and then the flag. We end up having drinks on the flag. It's like. I told him he did take all those Star Trek things out, by the way. That's in the tour. I told him, this has got to go. This has got to go.
Yeah. Sure.
Good call.
Oh, yeah.
Shinobi's not so stuff wanted. Oh, there you go. Well, I think what we could do is I would love for everybody in the pit, anybody checking in. We used to do collection spotlights on a certain thing, or maybe it's something that meaningful. I know Genobi gave us a collection tour one time and posted. I want to get back to that, so I'm going to put it out there for everybody. If you want, send us pictures, send us a video, send us whatever, and you could do it through our DMs, either our email, which is in our bio and everything, and on Instagram. Get a hold of us, send us a bunch of stuff so I could do a spotlight on your collection. It's all about collecting. This is what we do. Yeah. We buy plastic, we display the plastic, we look at it, we love it, and that's it. That's a hobby that is fun and expensive, but you know what? What in this world isn't worth, if it's not worth doing, right, then don't do it.
That's right.
Yeah, dolls are mid. So.
These guys, man.
But I also do want to bring your attention to over at Bliss Transmissions too, because he did a cool video over there about the bullying and in our hobby. And I never thought in a million years that our hobby would have to even approach this in this way.
We're adults.
I mean, we're buying toys, guys. Like, calm down.
Get over yourselves.
Yeah, I know. The people we deal with, everybody, we're good, but if you see it, call it out. So Tommy, thank you for calling it out, and you got our full support on that too, by the way. So if you're interested, go to his channel, check it out, leave a comment, and I'm sure that conversation will continue to grow. Again, as a hobby, this is supposed to be fun, and let's make it fun. Even with the live stream that happened last week. So let's start with that question. Why did they do a live stream right before Toy Fair? And it was almost like snuck in at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So here's my theory, and then I'll open it to you guys and everything. I think from what we got, what it was, I think they just wanted to push out the stuff they've already announced and get ready, clean slate it for Celebration, which is in about 50 days. It's coming really fast, which is going to be their next big thing. So to me, I was just like, okay, cool. They got this out of the way. It was almost like, all right, because there's no pipelines, there's nothing like that, especially with the Black Series. I'm specifically talking Black Series. I know their vintage, they did pipeline a little bit as like one thing.
They did, and there's still a couple things from the pipeline that we didn't see. So there's still a couple things coming.
Yeah. But I was just kind of like, oh yeah, it's cool. It was almost like I think they had to do this because they pushed back the G.I. Joe live stream, so maybe they had it slated. They wanted just to push something out, and they didn't want to make Star Wars wait that much longer from the both live streams. So it could have been, it seemed like a filler kind of thing. They did announce some brand new figures, which, by the way, when we get into it, will go on sale this Wednesday. Some of them. And then we'll explain the exclusives, the anniversaries and stuff. But yeah, what do you guys think? I mean, it wasn't groundbreaking, but it was kind of like, yeah, we kind of knew what was going on,
I think it's because Toy Fair is like a closed event.
Yeah.
And I know they did a couple reveals for Marvel Legends and a couple other lines, but I think for Star Wars, they kind of want to really get out in front of things, like you said, and make sure that people know what's coming, because that's been a big complaint with a lot of Star Wars collectors for a while now, is if you don't follow Yak Face on Instagram, if you're not paying attention, if you're not on the email list or the newsletter, you don't really know what's coming out and when it's coming out. So I think they're trying to be more proactive, even with how they said they're going to try and stream more, which, by the way, I thought this fan stream was far and away the most well put together and most professional fan stream. It was great to just watch pairs of marketing and design people.
I liked it this way.
Talk about the lines that they're most comfortable with, and not have five people awkwardly talking over each other and going,
or just standing there having no part of it.
Vintage Black Series, vintage Black Series, vintage. It was great to just have it streamlined. And I did talk to Hero Collections, who was Brandon, who's the marketing guy for Black Series on the stream. He said that if you have positive things to say, go to the fan stream on their YouTube channel on Hasbro Pulse and drop a comment letting them know that you liked this new way of going about it.
Perfect. I said this last week when we did this. We don't always have to be like, all right, constructive criticism or always complain about what we don't have. If they do something that people like, then let them know that too. Don't always let them know we don't like this or we don't like that or where's this and is that. If it like a figure or the way to do something, if that works and it's collectively a work, then they want to hear from that too. I never buy into the thing that they hate you. They want you to, come on, their business. Yeah, sure. But they want to make money. They want to make us happy.
Tell you stuff.
Yeah. They're trying to tell us stuff. They're not like, look at this. You don't want it. Aha. And then, that makes,
$1
makes no sense. Yeah. So, you know what I mean? So let them know if you like it. I'm not telling you to do it just because. If you genuinely like something, they like to hear from that too.
No, I enjoyed the stream. I did like the way they had broken it down, like you guys said. Splitting it up was great. We've been saying for years that I feel like, and we feel like, the brand should kind of separate, right? Black Series should be handled by a certain group. The Vintage Collection should be handled by another group. They honestly, I think they still should do that because I think they're spreading themselves too thin. But what they did was they cleared out like Mooch said, they cleared out most of the pipeline, which is great. Kind of clears the way for everything new coming. I did, however, take umbrage with the fact that these Vintage Collection figures, two of them that they did show were deluxe.
I was interested
in your threshold on deluxe is still baffling.
I'm looking for, I'd really like to know, and I would love to invite Stevie on here, somebody from that marketing group, to please come in and clear the air. Just let us know what it is that threshold is. Something I kept seeing is, this one has the deluxe card back. And I'm like, okay, yes, it is a larger card back, but that shouldn't add $10 on a price tag.
Gotcha.
I really do feel like a couple of extra hands. Okay. That's cool. But I go in there and I look at the Vintage Collection figures that are on the pegs in my toy room. And there's some that have more accessories that are still considered standard. So what is that level? What is that marker that we should look for? So whenever we see a pipeline figure and we know what's coming, we can brace ourselves for that. You make the fandom understand what it is and why it is that those are deluxe, because an added hand and an extra gun does not a deluxe make, right?
No.
A shield doesn't make a deluxe figure, right? Everything else that comes with that trooper is pretty basic.
Yeah.
So I would just really love to have an open conversation with them without a bunch of people in the live chat screaming at them. Oh, this is crap. This is garbage. Blah, 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 blah. Right. I would like to have an honest to God conversation with them to just tell us how to, like Trevor Ritchie just said, make it make sense. Right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, or
completely respectful. Just make it make sense.
It's the thought process, and then maybe it'll go. They don't have to give away the entire thing, but maybe it's like, look, there is a threshold of either quantity items or amount of figure or whatever it is that does justify. Because again, there is something in there. Spreadsheet that will say, look, this has to be deluxe. We're not covering the cost on this figure.
Maybe it's
whatever
the tooling. Maybe it's the amount of goo. And the other thing too is these two that were revealed. I look at, honestly, the TVC got more than the Black Series Moma Nadon did. And
yes,
on top of that too, when I looked at those, I was like, yeah, if that release was Black Series, that would have been deluxe as well. But I mean, maybe that's the way they're looking at it. Maybe,
but it's,
I don't know.
It's also funny because, you look at, say, and I know it's comparing apples and oranges, right? Because there is licensing fees and whatnot, but G.I. Joe, you look at what comes with the G.I. Joe, and it takes a friggin' lot for a G.I. Joe to be a deluxe figure.
Yes.
Hasbro owns G.I. Joe outright. I understand that. And I know that there's the licensing fee to worry about, but at the same time, it's like, dude, just an extra hand or an extra gun. I don't know. It just
and then there's the opposite.
And then the paint apps on Moma Nadon also, they're not as nice, at least in the figures that we saw in that live stream. The paint apps weren't as good as even the old Moma Nadon from the Saga collection. So I'm like, where's the deluxe value? Just set the record straight for us, right?
Yeah.
So
and then there's the opposite direction, right? Less the it'll be figure is the same price.
No, but see, this one comes with a chainmail shirt.
But see, that's the one you play the long game on. There's a couple of things that you play the long game on my Instagram over the weekend because Tommy's got me going. Where I played the long game on the Mines of Mandalore Mondo. And I was able to get them for like $13 over at the Target. Sometimes
I saw that.
There's certain things that you just say
I can't do it. I can't
now.
I feel
that there's already 5 Mondo figures already. I'm just gonna wait and wait this out. It works.
Mando, I could do it nowadays, but
true.
There's figure like when Wednesday Con will be pre-ordering the hell out of these figures. I'm like, well, I just want them. I just want them and go about my day. You know what I mean? And playing the long game. Never. I don't think I've ever done that. I need to learn that trait, Alex. I need to hang out with Alex more, and so you can say stop and just
that's Tommy. Tommy pointed out most of my hologram series that I've gotten. Tommy has said, "Hey man, it's dropped at this price over Walmart or something." I'm like, now's the time.
Right.
Yeah. There was that mentality in the old days of G.I. Joe collecting back when the 25th anniversary was out, where people would say, "Wait for Ross." That was it. That was the big tagline every time they did a live stream. Was, "Wait for Ross." So.
We got John Graber checking in. We also have, let's see, 1, 2, 3 customs jumping in. We just started talking about the live stream. We haven't gotten into the specification on what was released, but the difference on how they're doing it and how they're structuring it. And I feel like it's going to be a learning or a growing process moving forward. I know, like I said, you probably can't take what they're going to do at Celebration. That's going to be a whole new animal. They're going to have floor interviews, they'll have a panel, they're going to have things, but when it comes to these during the week and pre-orders in a couple days, I think they absolutely should stick to the separating of the like I said, taking a team that does seem it's separated when they do it this way. You two handle vintage, you two handle the cosplay, you two handle the Black Series, right? So it's all now lumped in and gets lost in translation when it's like, what did they,
Rhino Hobbies pointed out something that was Scott. Rhino Hobbies pointed out something that was very interesting here, where he says maybe they should just full screen the stream and just let the chat go roofless. And I think that sometimes transparency is a good thing, and then sometimes it's bad. And when you put up a figure that someone at home is extremely excited about, but there's hundreds of hateful kind of like things. Maybe they should just leave the chat for the chat and full screen it, and that way, it's not always disparingly on the screen of the actual fan screen that people are just getting knocked down because they want a favorite character, but there's 1,000 bad comments from it.
Yeah. You could see hearts or poop emojis.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So 123 Customs, who just pointed out right there, it's so important, in my opinion, to have passionate people behind the presentation.
Yeah.
That's part of the conversation that we had on the last live stream, right? They got up there and they talked over each other. They didn't know characters. They didn't know the stuff. And it seems to me like this was a step in the right direction, right? The way they broke it up into their own specialties. Mm-hmm. And I didn't feel that sense of not, what's the word I'm looking for? There was knowledge behind the characters. There was knowledge behind what they were revealing, right?
Well,
so I dug it.
Yeah, they gave a purpose, right? Like the last live stream, it was just 4 people standing there, and 2 in the ends didn't even say anything. It was just like, here's this new person.
Yeah.
Now they're part of it, and they get to talk about the products that they're representing and stuff like that. So know, again, it might not be the final mode of what they could be doing, but it's a step in that direction. And just like everything Star Wars, Hasbro is a pendulum too. It's like they either go full swing this way, and then they walk it back and they go full, and then they mess. That's it's not just it's everything in life. Like I said, as a gamer, I see content. Developers do this all the time. They give you everything, and then all of a sudden they take away everything, and it's like there's a middle ground you're missing all the time.
Scott, what scale is that? That's so lifelike. What you got?
I know, right? It's a 1-to-1 monster cat. I know.
A couple things I did want to say. One thing is 123 Customs. Shout out to a new channel on the block, the Cosmic Cantina.
All right.
He's one of the hosts, and I'm working on a collab video with those guys. So I want to give a shout out to them.
Nice.
But I also wanted to say it was nice on the topic of, the improvement that we saw with the stream, because we literally last week, the 3 of us were saying, this last one was a bit of a mess. I wonder what they're going to do here. We all said, Emily is very knowledgeable and passionate about TVC. We got to see her talk about TVC. Yeah. Eric is on the design team for Black Series, very passionate fan. We got to see him talk about Black Series, and Brandon as well, marketing for Black Series. That was fantastic to watch. 2 guys who were actually fans of the franchise. Really just get into it and get personal and talk about that. Honestly, to me, was more engaging than any other fan stream I've ever watched in the last 5 years. And to watch them talk, it honestly, for the first time, I felt like I was talking I always say I'm jealous of the G.I. Joe and the Transformers and the Marvel. And this was the first time I was like, we're reaching that level now. Now I'm not jealous anymore.
Again, in that direction. So we have to let them know. I mean, we put our money, mouths where money where our mouths are.
Money where our mouth is.
Let them know. Let them definitely know. 123 Design. Thank you, Tommy. He appreciates it. So the chat. I usually when I'm watching it, I usually just have it full screen myself, and every once in a while I'll go to the chat and I go, oh god, I can't do it. And
I don't even look.
Yeah, it's all I mean,
I can't help it. It's like watching a train wreck, right? I watch it and I'm just sitting there going, you guys are idiots. Oh my god.
I mean, no matter what, you're not going to please everybody. You're just not. And maybe it's not it isn't not going to be the job to please everyone, because again, but this is a 10-year. Black Series, a 10-year line.
Yeah.
And we made it known, and we're making ourselves known. That's why we do the show, not just to talk about the hobby we love and how we do things. It's also to get, kind of a voice in the game too, and try to collectively take it from the pit and everything. Like, look, these are the things that are making us excited for the hobby, and then here's the things that are not making us excited for the hobby. And so take it for what it's worth, and so I'm gonna let's go, because I know we're gonna hit Vintage Series first. Let's hit Vintage Series first. So Scott, I want you to take it from there. And I know, like I said, somebody was talking about pipelines and how they're going away. It was definitely, we are on a clean slate for Black Series after this. and everything. But Vintage Collection, I think, still has a little bit more in the pipe.
I'm pretty sure we'll see it. But yeah, here we go. So
hey Scott, I'm gonna take a nap here. Wake me up when you're done with
when I'm done with Happy Meals. You got it, buddy. You got it.
Nerd alert. No, this was on last Wednesday. This is last Wednesday. So none of this is Toy Fair stuff. Or it's there at Toy Fair, but yeah.
Sorry, as a matter of fact, they actually brought some of these figures to Toy Fair and they revealed them today. So, and that would be the deluxe Moment of Dawn, the deluxe. What is it? It's Moff Gideon's Troopers, right? I don't remember the exact name of them. And then you've got the reissue of Ponda Baba. So those were the three that they really announced at the live stream right there, as well as the quote unquote pipeline that we all saw coming, which is the land speeder. So we our checklist is kind of full right here. I think I'm about ready to take the top line off. That way we can move some new empty boxes at the bottom. Thank you, Imperial Commandos.
There you go.
So I still haven't found myself though that Ahsoka clone trooper that's up in the top right corner. So I need to keep an eye out for that one. I'm missing that figure. We do still have, though, the pipeline of Han Solo, Chewbacca, and Obi-Wan. So we haven't seen anything for that. I'm not sure if we'll see them at Toy Fair as the week progresses, or if that's something that we might see at Celebration. And you got to remember also, in July, we've got Comic-Con, and Hasbro will be at Comic-Con as well, right? Probably with an exclusive. They might have something to show. What we'll probably see at Comic-Con this year is the Cantina. We'll probably see that. And as that on display, we'll see Han Solo, Chewbacca, and Darth Vader. I'm sorry, not Darth Vader, Obi-Wan. Oh, that's a slip. And probably the land speeder as well, right?
Yeah.
Now, I did get notification that the Streets of Tatooine playset that's out there is starting to land in the USA.
Yes.
Oh, man.
More bribery.
He's relentless, my God. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it for the vintage collection right now. I will real quick tap the retro collection because today at Toy Fair, they went ahead and showed these figures in person.
Yeah.
And they look absolutely fantastic. I love these stupid little things. They just take me right back in the Wayback Machine, right? You got chubby Han Solo up there as a stormtrooper, which is awesome. Finally. Yeah. The only figure on here that is, I think, unnecessary because there are no changes to him at all is Ponda Baba, right? The Walrus Man. But they've done this too in the past where they've just straight up re-released people like Darth Vader and Stormtrooper. And Luke.
I have something to say about this.
Okay.
And it's
fire away,
and it's good because you and I have talked about almost like a direct continuation of the Kenner line back in the day, the 96 figures that are available. Well, they've been doing retro stuff, but it gives you Phantom Menace stuff. They give you Attack of Clones. This to me is something like, look, there's your Han and Stormtrooper. You know what I mean? So that's a direct continuation that you could take these and put them with your vintage, collection or vintage 70s and 80s toys.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that's where I'm like, well, damn, I might buy this because of that.
Yes.
He got you.
Yeah. I have won. So, I mean, and there was also one other little bit of information I did not put in the screen that I'll change for next time around. And that is, this is a Target exclusive 6-pack.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so it'll be in one of those boxes. All 6 figures will be in there. Get them while you can, because I've got a feeling that these are going to fly a little faster than the Acolyte set of 6 did.
What?
Yeah.
I know. I don't know why.
I know. 123 Customs. I know they did retro for the films, but you ever think they'll do Clone Wars and Rebels? I think so. I do think so. Retro collection. They're gonna. There don't seem signs of stopping. They've been doing these 6-packs. Or packs of themed issues versus just regular card issues. So I think that's a thing going forward.
And that's where my issue with other lines like the Epic Heroes and all that that's where that kind of spikes up my again, is that I wish they would put more energy into these and keep that as a kid and collector's line at the same time. Yeah. But that Hasbro gonna do what Hasbro gonna do. So
Nicholas H. Yeah, Nicholas H. You might be the first retro collection he buys.
Right on, man.
I mean, that's how you do it, right? You hit the beats.
Cool.
You hit like, oh, okay, this worked out.
You know, they had that Disneyland exclusive set that had a bunch of re-releases in it, but also had Mon Mothma and Yak Face. And I know Yak Face is, direct, recreation as well, but good luck ever finding Yak Face at a decent price.
Commander Blythe, those are cool. All these exclusives.
Only Commander Blythe.
Yep.
Well, we'll let that.
I usually ban Hal Runner, not Commander Blythe.
Well, I mean, he paid to stay. Okay, he's paid to stay.
Good.
So.
He did pay.
Okay, so two points here in the chat. Hal Runner, what about Micro Galaxy Squadron? That Reaper Art and Arc 170. I guess what, guys? I got them because Scott got them for me. They're street. Don't let anybody know, but they are street dated. But Scott found them for me.
I worked magic.
Yeah,
no way.
Yeah, he got to purchase them. So I mean, I don't have them in my hands yet, so I technically don't have them. But money was exchanged. There you go.
Wow. Where'd you find him?
He found him at Target. Yeah.
Must have used that Jedi mind trick on the clerks there, man.
Yeah.
Hal Runner,
I do that for good.
Yeah, in between now and Celebration, I think we need to do a heavy Micro Galaxy Squadron episode and break everything down. And
I don't think these are the ones he's talking about, though.
Okay. I was gonna say
the Kylo Ren silencer.
Gotcha. Yeah, but still, these are street dated.
Yeah, V-19 Torrent Starfighter.
Yeah.
Pay
to troll.
Commander Blythe with us, super generous super chat. Pay to troll. Hey, man, this is your show.
I probably also just scared the hell out of my wife shouting "Target" from across the room. So,
oh man, this is something that we might talk about this, especially next week too. Commander Blythe, we need a 5 points of articulation Black Series.
No, we don't.
I thought, I said something like that a long time ago. It was like, how they did that, the color variations like Boba Fett and Obi-Wan.
Prototype?
Well, no, not the prototypes, but the Kenner colors, but the 6-inch version, right? They had the Obi-Wan with the vinyl cape. They had the And I was like telling Scott a long time ago, and he did the same thing you just did. It's like, no, we don't need it. But I'm like, I'm surprised they haven't give us like a 6-inch Kenner figure, right? Like a Vader or whatever.
Don't you put that juju out into the world.
I got to put it out in the world because
don't you put that out there.
Next week, we are going to be doing a cool show about the 30th anniversary of the Power of the Force 2 figures.
Whoa.
And what an opportunity to give us just a muscled Luke 6-inch figure, right?
Man, Luke.
I need a small saber and a long tray with a
it. I will definitely, but just one figure. Just pick Luke. Like I said, the most.
It'd be Darth Vader.
He's still muscular. He's still exactly. Oh man, that would be honestly, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah,
I think so. But we've got Chet Maddox knocking on the door. What's up?
He's gonna come up and play with my mask toys.
Oh yeah.
I told you, once you let him in the door, man, they're not gonna leave.
Yeah,
I know they're not gonna
you'll
leave.
never get him out. Never.
No. It's hard. I try to talk as much as I can. Like Scott's like creeping towards the door, and I'm just like, blah 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 blah, and I just talk it, and I'm like, okay, I guess I gotta go. So
Marco is known for his the best quote that you will hear from Marco, and you'll hear it at least 5 times in every conversation. Just one more thing.
Yeah.
Just one more thing.
One more thing, and I'll let you go. One more thing.
One more thing, and I'll let you go. There we go. That's the one.
Yeah. Nerd alert! I want more of those Kenner Black Series. Greedo and Kenobi look fantastic. I would love a Hoth Kenner Han Solo. Make him blue coat. Yeah, I mean, G.I. Joe does it with their retro collection. Are they? Maybe it has timing, right? We talked about this last week about timing, and timing is everything. They probably could have gotten away with it maybe 2 or 3 years into the line of Black Series. Yeah. I wish.
I don't know. It would probably have to be an anniversary of something, right?
Yeah,
that's what they did with the Star Wars one, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the next that we're currently in the Revenge of the Sith anniversary year. What's the next one?
Well, they think if they
50th anniversary of
Yes.
The 50th anniversary of A New Hope. Oh my God.
You know, that would be cool because instead of doing, because we all have the 40th anniversary card backs where it's just the modern day figures, that would be an interesting way for them to sell retro card backs on a 50th. Because I don't feel like a lot more people might be in because it's then a different figure altogether.
We always talk. Well, I always say reinvent itself. Black Series reinvent itself. Not necessarily starting over from the ground up, but reinvent. Like I said, changing the name, doing something different. The vintage collection was like Saga collection. Then it was like it's a whole bunch of things before it became. It is what it is now. Like they just focus on that. So,
here we go. Take at Ralph McQuarrie figures would be great.
I mean, we got Vader and Obi-Wan. Let's go. The Stormtrooper Luke. Pop. We got those are instant buys for me because it's art, and Commander Blythe, Tommy, tell these men about Star Wars 77.
You guys are the perfect people to pick your brains on this. I have a group of millennial and like Gen Z friends.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
All of a sudden, in the last like 6 months, they were like, "Oh, we're too cool to call it A New Hope. We're just going to call it Star Wars." And I'm like, "Cool, that's a thing that people call it, whatever." Then they started calling it either just 77 or Star Wars 77. And I'm like, guys, no one says that. And they're yeah, they do that. That's how you know what we're talking about. Because we want people to know we're cool and we're talking about the A New Hope. And I go, no. So I asked my dad, and I'm going to ask you guys, am I right in saying that no one says Star Wars 77?
First I've
Correct.
heard it. It's the first I've heard it.
Boom.
It's either Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, or it's A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. It is never Star Wars 77.
Or it's the original trilogy. That's
the original
OT.
trilogy.
I mean, that's all we say.
I'm clipping this and sending it.
Yeah. The first time I've ever heard Star Wars 77 is today, March 3rd, 2025, on episode 25 of the Toy Chest.
Okay.
Stu John, nobody. I was there. Justin Hubert, nope. Trevor Ritchie, no one.
Dude, I keep trying to tell him. They're like, no, man, we got to say 77. It's called 7. I'm like, no, it's Star Wars.
I would like to know these gentlemen's address so I can stop by and do an intervention with them, and we can stop them from their Star Wars blasphemy right now.
The Dr. Brentley, because he knows he's a doctor.
Dr. Brentley is a doctor.
He's a doctor.
Yep.
So
you can work on that.
Gotta trust him.
Yeah.
And freaking Moocher's going back to the 90s with his comment right there. He was saying
I did because they got me into the OT mode, right? They got me in that mode, which I'm always in, so it's hard to date myself.
But you see us, all of them walk in the room and see everybody from the cast and everything and say, "Gentlemen, sit down." We gotta stop you from this.
You know what though? Star Wars the 77 version, right? That version is actually streaming on Roku channel now. The pre-special edition version of it is streaming on the Roku channel.
Who let that happen?
Just saying. I don't know. So if you want to watch it quick because I don't know if it's going to be around forever.
Well, with that, let's get into the Black Series. Go ahead and bring up the slate because we got some new. Well, again, these were of end of the pipeline reveals, and there are some 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith, and we got to talk about those too in a minute. But we've got Moff Gideon and his Mando. What's it called? Like Mando
Dark Trooper armor.
Thank you. Dark Trooper armor. We've got the Mandalorian Praetorian Guard. We've got 2 figures from Andor himself, and Deidre. No, not Deidre, but they did show her, I believe. Krennic, and basically the same thing, but a new face sculpt, I believe.
So good. The
photo reel
sculpt on him
photo
amazing.
reel. So that's the last one in my Rogue One collection that needed to be replaced.
Yep.
There you go. And Andor with the suit. I like that because we don't need. I mean, I don't want him wear street clothes. Andors. I got 3 of them already. So, which I know is going to come anyway. They're going to probably do a street clothes Andor, but very cool. Praetorian Guards. I need at least 2 of those.
Yep.
At least. and of course Moff Gideon. So those are going on sale this Wednesday, pre-order on Hasbro Pulse, and I think it's everywhere.
Yeah.
But the as far as like what's been out there in the stores, I think what's going to be shipping soon is going to be the Sebulba wave.
Yes,
I believe that wave is shipping soon, and the Shizor has been out there. People have it in hand for reviews and stuff, so I'm expecting that one to really launch too pretty soon.
Who is that guy?
Well, see, Tommy, back in 19.
I do want to say, Scott, I meant to mention that my Ahsoka Clone Trooper just dropped into my pile of loot today.
Nice.
On Big Bad Toy Store, along with Kelnaka. And then
There
I
you
got
go.
the notification that Bakara is shipping soon today.
Okay.
So
Oh wow.
things
Okay.
are starting. I think
Yep.
him, Shizor, and the Commando droid are going to be trickling in these next couple weeks on Big Bad Toy Store.
Yeah.
Send me photos of them whenever you get them, and I'll take them off the list, or I'll put the giant red X on them so we know that they're
Yeah. So
They're
it's
in.
time to transfer funds. If you haven't, make sure you do that soon because we will be getting notifications.
According to Justin Huber, they have already taken down Star Wars off of the Roku channel, so it did not last long at all.
Oh, that and the Clone Trooper Super Battle Droid 2-pack. I just got that the other day from Hasbro.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Things are flowing in now. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, it'd be to their best interest to get everything that was announced or closer to get them in people's hands, and let's get Celebration. That's got a whole new from the ground up, because Celebration pre-orders won't hit until probably fall. You know what I mean? Like, or if they do it that soon. So we started with the Revenge of the Sith exclusives. Now they are Walmart exclusives.
Boo.
There's 4 of them. We knew Commander Cody was coming. All right. So, and this is, and I we're talking to Scott, and this is where I do have some constructive criticism about their character selection for an anniversary. Okay, an anniversary packaging. The bubble packaging is amazing. I love it. It's great.
Yeah.
R2D2, cool, fine, no problem. But Kit Fisto and Dooku. Now Dooku he looks great. Kit Fisto looks great, but it's the same Kit Fisto. I think Dooku might be a little bit updated. I don't know if the pins are okay. It's the exact same.
I thought so. He looks identical. And the first one was great.
Yeah, in my mind, those two characters go. They're Attack of the Clone characters. I mean, even though Dooku is in the first 5 minutes of the film, or whatever, and it is, but it doesn't scream Revenge of the Sith to me. Okay. Neither does Kit Fisto. Kit Fisto is like a Clone Wars Attack of the Clones.
He was there to die.
Yeah, it was in there like 30 seconds maybe.
Yeah,
I think he said, "Oh."
Yeah,
he was the only one to block Palpatine before he killed him.
Yeah. And so like I know this is gonna be like probably like another way, maybe 8 total or 12. I don't know how they really do the anniversary figures, if they do 8 of them or 12 of them or 2 or 3 waves.
There's another one that's gonna get revealed for the stupid Walmart collector BS.
Oh yeah, Collector's Con.
That one is going to be the 501st Clone Trooper on that card back.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean,
a wave of 5.
Yeah, I just like say character selection to me is weird because like and I don't have them, but like Mando Mike, he when he had his collection, he had all the anniversary figures, and Return of the Jedi. It was just they looked great. And of course, all those character selections make perfect sense, right? Yeah. When they give you a Han, it's Han from that movie, Yeah. But this is weird. It was just weird. It's weird. I don't know. And this is like, to me, it's like this is a great point of shooting themselves in the foot, causing the discourse, because I mean, how I can't defend it at this point. Like,
that's a huge. That's my big issue with Kit Fisto here.
New John, right here. The Kit Fisto repack doesn't come with a robe. It's on the card art, but no robe. That is kind of silly, especially considering he is only in his robe in that movie.
Yeah.
Silly.
Like I said, an easy character selection would be Anakin, Obi-Wan, Padme, a new Padme, maybe. A pregnant Padme would be awesome.
So I can tell you that Obi-Wan and Anakin are coming. I'm assuming they're saving it for Celebration. I'm assuming. kind of how we were talking about, just like pushing out the rest of the fluff before we get into Celebration. I think this is like, okay, here's the repacks.
Yeah.
And then for Celebration and SDCC this summer, that'll be when you get your like, okay, and here's your retro cards for Anakin, Obi-Wan, Palpatine, like, on and on with the big hitters.
I'm not personally too bothered by it, but I know it's something that I can't defend. And when we're put in those situations, just like when we talk about these on Wednesday, Scott, like when we have to defend Star Wars, that's when it's like a chore. Like, when we see something on Disney, oh man, Wednesday, am I gonna have to? I know, hey, it is what it is. I'm not a creator, but and those one of those things like, oh crap, where is my stance in the stand now when I have, and that's okay. Like I said, to me personally, I'm not buying the anniversary. I never have, because I don't do the packaging, the mint and box. I don't do those. So I'm all about new figures, which I'm patient. I'm a patient collector, so I'll get whatever is coming down the line. But yeah, I mean, like, to push, because it's coming back into movie theaters, which we're going to do a meetup. I hope we can get tickets to it. We'll do a local meetup with it. Have a great time with it, But again, we talked about this last week about the whole timing on things and hitting anniversaries and hitting those just right. So when the kids see it and they go, whoa, my dad just took me, or my mom just took me to the theater, and those figures are on the shelf, and there's Anakin and Obi-Wan. I'm just saying, putting those two as, the main people, right? So. Yeah, I mean, it almost like, what do you want to do? We'll put Kid Fisto. Really?
It's interesting for me, because my friends and I have been joking a lot that, we would always be like, more Kenner card backs on the Black Series, boo. And then now that it's the movie that we grew up with, it's like, I'm getting 2 of each every single Revenge of the Sith anniversary. I'm getting 2 regardless. That for me, it's I look at also the aftermarket value of some of these figures that they chose to repack. All 3 of the ones they revealed today have been creeping up to like $40-$50 on the aftermarket.
So maybe that's
even as new as R2 is, he's creeping up already, and they included the rocket boosters within this.
He's the one that makes the most sense.
Yeah, and
out of.
I wish they would have done the soft goods robes with Kid Fisto, but for me, I think it's going to hit that, like, we talk a lot about, my generation now. We have adult jobs, we have adult money, we can participate in this hobby a lot more, closer to the same level you guys do, and I think that this, in that way, they're throwing out these card backs, and even if it's like a more random character, like, to me, Kid Fisto or Count Dooku on that card back is the same as you guys if they put like Poplu or Tebow on that card back. For me, it's like an Ewok on the anniversary, and for you guys, it's those.
I get it.
Characters,
Yeah, no, I get it. For Star Wars 77, I get it.
This is not a thing. It is not a thing.
How does R2 come up with the fly stand? No, like it'd be cool if he came with the fire things like Chopper did, right? That would be really cool,
Yeah, because in the old with the old one, he had the flight stand, and the flight stand would actually link with the melted battle droids, and you have that whole little thing. Which reminds me, I was at GameStop the other day, and I saw they had like 5 on hand. 3 different GameStops on hand, 5 super battle droids. So it was just they're replenishing super battle droids and Plo Koon. So Plo Koon is back in that Black Series, the original Black Series card backs or box. Yeah. So keep an eye out if there's some Jedi or anything that you're missing, especially those army builders like those super battle droids. Hit your GameStops. They're out there.
Yeah, exactly.
And Tommy's having some internet issues. He's kind of fritzy a little bit. Oh, no, he's back. He's good now. He's good. Oh, he's frozen again. That's okay. He's at least he's frozen smiling. That's good.
Yeah, exactly. I'll run his entree. You got to talk about different Padmes. Okay, look, just a
yeah.
We're not talking about Dominatrix Padme, Pedo Padme.
I caught everything you guys were saying. I just, for some reason, didn't have a camera. So,
no worries, man. No worries.
You're good.
Let's see here. Justin Hoover, a hot take. Star Wars toys should go to Playmate Toys or Mattel. Star Wars toys needs to be cool again. It would be cool to see somewhat posable 5-inch figures aimed for kids, but still appealing to adults. Okay,
I wouldn't start over again personally.
No. If that were to happen, it would be what he's saying is taking that line that Hasbro is doing, Scott, like you said, the one that you said is
the Epic Heroes.
Epic Heroes. Yeah, give that to Playmates. Give that to Mattel or a different brand for that specific thing. Then
I'm good with that.
Okay, then the resources aren't pulled or whatever, but then they can handle, a kitty line like that. That's fine, but to reiterate too, Hasbro has that line for those very over stylized, different kind of, like they have the detachables, and then they have the Epic Heroes line. I mean, they have those, right? But
mashups,
the mashups and stuff. I mean, if you look at the whole layout, I mean, Star Wars is still covered from head to toe today. They have those, for like 3+, and then they have like the 3 3/4, the Black Series, the Hot Toys, all the way to Micro Galaxy. I mean, we are covered, But I think we've talked about this too a long time ago. With like if Hasbro, because again, the toy shakeup, right? There's been some toy shakeups. The Diamond Select, DC stuff with McFarlane losing it to Mattel. Mattel is getting back to DC. So like it puts things. You kind of get a little nervous sometimes. You're like, oh, these things can happen. You know what I mean? Like I thought, like, honestly, I was all in on DC Multiverse, but I never thought he was going to lose the license, or Mattel paid more, or whatever it was. No, at least it went back to somebody who had it, but I don't know. That's something for Shadow Nose Network to deep dive, and they have deep dived it. Yeah. So
here's the thing: there's a good reason behind this. That the Mattel just obviously they were bitter about losing in the first place, and then the second thing was they just bid it a nickel more than McFarlane did.
100%.
And right? They're a major corporation; they can do that kind of thing. And I saw in the chat here that people were like, "Well, you're giving out to Mattel and everything." The reason why you probably haven't seen it farmed out is that if Hasbro wasn't making a profit from it, they would, because that's why we're starting to see the O-rings of Super 7 and all these. Look, they're sending it down to the smaller companies. You use your time, your dime, your resource, and if you go out of business, so be it. Because we know that we're not making money on it. If you think you can, fine.
Yeah,
it's a manipulation by the bigger company to do this to the smaller companies, and it's not paying off for some of these smaller companies that on the way, because McFarlane's going to have a problem when it comes to all that staffing that he had. What happens to all these people that were employed? And there was a toy photographer we know that's employed that was doing multiverse line. It's going to be a lot of people out of work over that. So there's some pluses and minuses to it. We think human element involved.
Yeah. I mean, from day one, I it's hard to see a Star Wars brand on a different label, a different company doing it. Mattel has a knit. Mattel has a very specific style, and they got a good marketing team. I believe they got it, but for what the IPs that they have and own, like He-Man and Hot Wheels and Barbie and stuff like that, they're very good at those. But to give them like Lord of the Rings, or give them Star Wars or G.I. Joe, it'll be jarring, because
it's been
Hasbro.
Hasbro
owns the real scan technology also. That's their technology and real scan, and if they're perfecting it,
actually,
I think
that's Gentle Giant. Gentle Giant owned that photoreal scan technology.
Oh, maybe
and then Hasbro was using it, but then Gentle Giant is going out of business because they are owned by Diamond Select. So maybe Hasbro will pick up some of that.
Maybe.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, Diamond Select's filing bankruptcy, so we don't know what type of bankruptcy or what restructure. So yeah. I like Diamond Select figures. I'm all in on those Lord of the Rings. In fact, the issue. That's a different podcast. Where I got one more thing.
But one more thing. Just one more thing. See, I was chatting with Alex and the crew on Shadow Nose the other day on the Pixels, Plastic and Ink, and I am pissed because I am all. If you watch my 1-minute toy reviews, I am all in on those McFarlane Superpowers line.
Yeah,
I love them. I just got the 3-pack of Starman, Hourman, and one other character, Green Lantern, my favorite character. So and I'm like, I'm never gonna get those from Mattel. They're not going to pick up that line.
No, and it's
just
a shame,
such a bummer, man.
because it's such an entry level line for younger collectors. Because it's like you can walk into a Walmart, pick something up for $6, or even when they start going to clearance, $3.99. It's the perfect thing to give to younger individuals, and they come with vehicles, and they're like all my nieces and nephews that's under the age of 12.
Yeah,
those are what we give them, and they are always excited to see it. And it's a shame because McFarlane had that point of, he understood as a fan what to give the fans back. Mattel's in a corporation, and they're just going to see what's the profit line. So it's going to hurt some things.
Yeah, but also, I mean, like I said, this is probably a segment for Shadow to really,
true.
Get into it. But I mean, Mattel ain't stupid, because the mashups they do with the Turtles, and now they could do it with DC. It's just like, it's printing money, because those do sell. They sell a lot. Those Turtles, and oh man,
already ordered my Bat He-Man.
I wonder what Batman or Man Bat. Oh man. Yeah, I mean, that's where the thing is. Like, we feel sometimes we're maybe some companies are too big to fail, and I have that kind of sentiment with Hasbro sometimes. Where it's like, they paid millions and millions of dollars for the IP, and it dates back
of millions.
And it dates back from Power of the Force 2 days, again, when they renewed their contract, when they bought up Kenner, and then they were using, and then it was like, forget it, we're putting Hasbro on everything, we're making this our brand, which always was kind of a Hasbro thing anyway. It's Stu John. Kenner didn't last forever. I mean, it was just kind of a sub company of Hasbro, right?
No, they were
Power of the Force 2.
No, they were their own company.
They were their own company.
Power of the Force 2. What I'm talking about.
Yeah, it wasn't Hasbro. That was pure Kenner.
I thought it was Hasbro, and then they just released it under Kenner.
It wasn't until it was closer to I want to say the Power of the Jedi line that Hasbro actually bought them outright.
Yeah.
And it was their own separate thing, and they started losing money big time, and Hasbro came in and gobbled them up.
Yeah. I was talking about this yesterday when I was on with Out of the Basement. We had this similar conversation, because everyone's like, the big switch. Because there's also talks for some reason that Hasbro is going to lose the Star Wars license to McFarlane. But I think with Hasbro uniquely, and I think honestly, this would make it very difficult with how expensive the license is for Star Wars, and with it, we've seen, if you look at Hasbro's financial reports, that number keeps going up significantly every year. Disney just can't get enough in that pocket. They have to keep raising that number every year. So I think what's going to happen is, Hasbro has that repertoire of tooling that they can reuse. And if another company were to take it, that's new tooling on everything and a new system of articulation. And with how Star Wars is, with how unique every character is, and how little they can reuse compared to a lot of other toy lines. I think you're going to find I think you find yourself where other companies,
100%.
Do they really want to take a bite out of that? It's a lot of risk,
Yeah. I mean, hey, Tommy reads it, so we don't have to.
That's
right.
That's why I have Ted do
it. You're right, Tommy, because it's like the G.I. Joes. With the G.I. Joe line, there's a set number of body types that they just they tool new existing pieces or new pieces to put on top of the body, right?
Yeah.
And it gets
there's a bigger thing too, until and I'm going to say this is until Star Wars turns things around a little bit more as far as popularity and not so angry, not so just hostile. I don't think companies would kind of come, even if it was up for scraps or sale, if that kind of a price tag of like $100 million, would a Mattel even say, hey, you know what, we're kind of good in our lane right now, we're cool, because they can't just sit on it, they have to take it and produce. Any company, right? So Hasbro probably knows that too, and they're probably like, look, we've got some things we got to do, we got some things to turn around.
The biggest issue is that Star Wars, what it had was for a while there, making Star Wars for an audience that doesn't buy action figures.
Yeah.
You're telling stories for people who aren't going to go out and buy the toys.
Yeah.
And so they kind of need to return to form in that way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, Star Wars is not on fire right now, unfortunately, and maybe their whole, transitioning back to theaters will change that, because it's video streaming is the masses, but like the Oscars were just this last weekend, right? And there was a thing on there said, like, we got to get people back in the seats. Well, how do you do that? You got to tell good stories, and then you have to beat the streaming services as far as like the convenience and the availability. And sometimes the streaming services have great products too. So you got to like Star Wars needs some wins in their belt. I know Skeleton Crew was a win. Andor is gonna be a win. I don't, hands down. But it's not the oh my god, I gotta buy everything I see brand.
It's not the blockbuster.
Mm-hmm.
Right. There you go. You're right. Yeah, it's just cool sci-fi at this point. And us guys who with the original trilogy, it never was a cool sci-fi. It's life, right? So and it goes with the collecting too. So Mando Mike, hey guys, hey Pit, hey, better late than never, Mando. Yeah.
And with that, we're signing off. Just kidding.
Yeah, yeah. I told you as soon as he gets here.
Right, all right.
But yeah, I mean, there's a conversation to be had there, and it's cool to kind of like get into the mindset of not just what's available, what's out there, who's buying. We get into that, but it's cool to kind of like speculate on the future of our product, because like me personally, I never want to half-ass anything I do, especially in collecting. If they're only going to make 4 figures, I might not even just bother, because I want
Indiana Jones, for example.
Thank you. Indiana Jones is a perfect example. They stopped cold turkey without no explanation. That's where, again, it's not Star Wars, but that's where I'm like pointing at Hasbro and say, you guys,
why you guys?
Yeah, like now I'm gonna, get on that wagon of
rage.
Whatever. Yeah, just bad. Just do it, guys. Come on. Anyway, so next week we're gonna be doing 30th anniversary of the Power of the Force 2 line back in 1995. 1995 is where it all came back full circle. We emerged from the dark times of Star Wars. That's when it all set ablaze. So next week we're going to do an anniversary show of the Power of the Force.
Is it next week?
Or the next show.
2 weeks.
2
Yeah,
weeks.
Yeah.
So episode 26. Right. Yeah, episode 26. So get your stories down, and Tommy, you probably don't have any.
I got tons of them on the wall.
Okay.
They were handed down.
But that's good. That's a story. Let's dive into some of our reminiscing of it, and see what Hasbro can do of an anniversary that magnitude. And we kind of touched base a little bit on the 50th of Kenner, and an 8-figure line would be great. 6-inch, 5 points of articulation. Or the original 9, that just do those. If they had just a special edition, those 9, I might have to get 2 again.
I'm mimicking Blitz right here. I'm with him. Yeah. I mean, we've got those gentle giant jumbo figures.
Yeah, but they're $100 really a piece. So I'm like,
12-inch, yeah. Hot Toys scale.
Darth Wizzy Wizards, check it in. Yes, the dark times. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. 30 years ago.
30 years ago. I have a story, and it involves Mando Mike from 30 years ago. So we'll bring that up in the discussion.
No Bly.
Willow figures.
That's why I stopped the line. They only did 2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I think it'd be kind of cool to because we always talk about it. I mean, every time we go into a line for a Star Wars thing, and it's always something to just kind of like reminisce on the days where Star Wars didn't have a small section. It was a whole aisle, and it was a whole face or a storefront. It was great, so
aisles.
I don't think we'll ever get back to that, but yeah. I don't think we'll ever get back to it, but
I don't think so either.
Yeah, but at least we had those times. Like I said, I'd rather have it in memory bank versus they should have done it. Yes, we've done it. So, but well, let's get out of here. Let's go ahead, and Tommy, Bliss Transmissions will probably hit 10,000 subs by what is it? March. I mean, you're on fire, dude. You're on fire.
I'm trying to hit 1,000 by the end of March. Now, something that I launched on my channel that I do want to plug. I launched a so right now the TVC is doing their what's it called again, Scott? The bracket.
Oh, the March Madness. It's March Madness.
Yes.
So there's a channel, Black Series channel, Lukeness Monster does a Black Series March Madness. And there's been a lot of talk about, him having a lot of clone troopers in his bracket. So myself and my friends at Monday Night Figure Ball, we said, you know what? Let's make our own brackets, one with no clones and one that's only clones.
Yeah.
So I'm taking charge of the one that's only clones. Right now, if you go check out my Instagram, my YouTube page, Twitter, everything, I have posted. You can comment and give me recommendations on what clone troopers. I'm keeping a tally. What clone troopers should make it into my 64 character bracket.
Yeah.
We're going to launch it on March 6th. It's going to be super fun, and I'm going to live stream that on Thursday. I'll coordinate with you guys so we're not overlapping on streams. But
sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna launch it then. We'll put the schedule out, and it's going to be for all you cloners out there. If you want a blue one, if you want a red one, if you want a yellow one, you can make your voice heard. So vote. Give me your recommendations on, again, Instagram, YouTube, X, even my Patreon. I put up a post. And
I put mine in. I don't know if you saw it. I put mine in.
Yep.
You better win
in. And my friends at Monday Night Figure Ball. It's not 100%, but we were talking about launching them together, and they're going to do one with no clone troopers, just OT, prequel, expanded universe, a mix of everything. I think
if I don't get a blitz, I'm going to be pissed. I need blitz, man.
Yeah, hey, it might be coming sooner than we think, But yeah. Other than that, just regular videos and stuff. I am slowing down on the videos this week just because I want to really focus on the bracket. And then I am tomorrow night. I'm going to be on with my good friend Cody, the Stone Mandalorian. We're going to be doing a live stream tomorrow night.
Nice. But I just subbed to his channel. So very cool. Very cool.
If you like anything that's not Star Wars, something that I won't cover on the channel, what you need to do is head over to the Shadow Nose.
Otherwise, we started to, and I was like, I had to stop myself because we go on tangents. But yeah, I mean, the other channel that's on fire. Come on, dude. Like,
yeah. Well, we love being part of the whole Star Wars family and everything. We love having you guys on. That's why we leave it to the experts. We try to do everything else. I got a couple of things going up. One, we've added for the first time because Chet's been getting on us, and we have a channel membership over at the Shadow Nose Network. And we are on Bandito Radio 1FM.
I can't say enough. I cannot say enough good things about that. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Like your guys' segment, the radio station, the concept, I'm on there. I have it in the background multiple times. It's a radio station, dude. It's
reaching a very good fever point.
Yeah.
And we've actually have a show on there called Action Figure Frequencies with myself and Chad Maddox. You can only listen to the audio on Bandito Radio, but the video is in our membership section. So if you go over there, we've got it for a very reasonable term. Not trying to get gouging any fans. We just want you to get some special perks and everything when you pop in. Then from there, myself and Chet will be over at Toy Atlanta. We will actually be down there with guest of honor, David Vonner, and the Odd Frog Entertainment Group, and they'll be premiering the Bandito there. So we'll be there on the 28th, 29th, and 30th. We wrapped in some guys hopefully from the Sarlacc and over. We'll see if we can get Tommy on. But we're going to be doing live streams from the table. So that event, when you see people doing things live, we will be doing it live. We'll grab some people that are walking around and, purchasing. We're going to grab some major guests and some vendors and everything and see what we can do to create a little buzz for our channel. So
love it.
We'll definitely have you guys on March 5th, which is this Wednesday night. We are doing a double cast with our buddies over at the Skeleton Collectibles, which they also have a show called The Skeleton Tomb. So it'll be Deadman Juan and Scully, Chet, myself, and we're going to run 2 hours before the best damn Star Wars show on YouTube comes on the Sort of Like Digest podcast. So we
I
got a
like
lot of
those
things
guys.
going over there. But again, I'm looking forward to what's going on Wednesday night over at Sort of Like, man.
Nice. Well, first off, Stu John, the link is in the description below to Shadow Nose Network, where you can find Bandito Radio and Odd Frog Entertainment. The links are in there. So if you want, you could go hit that link, and then it'll take you over to Alex's channel over there, where you can find everything you just talked about. Same thing with Tommy. Links are in the description below. Scott, what do we got going on Star Wars wise?
Kathleen Kennedy is retired. She's back. So here we go. A bit of a
God damn it.
Understand, right? So we've got that going on. We've got all the latest and greatest updates from the Star Wars galaxy, man. Oh, you know what? I seem to Mooch. What's that behind you right there? What's that behind you right there on that table? What is
this
that?
one?
Yeah, that. What's that?
Well, this is a 3D printed toy accessory drawer system that I modeled and created myself, and you might see this on the Tashi Station channel. But I'm working it up over there. But also on the Tashi Station, our SD17 droid, which is down there in the corner there, bringing us all the codes from the pit tonight. He's coming to life. And right now we have on our community post you guys get to choose the color scheme that we were painting him. We threw it to our Shadow Council.
Scum and villainy.
We threw it to. I see what you did today, Scott. I see what you did today.
What?
I know
if my choice isn't winning, I'm gonna put my all my.
He's creating accounts and voting. So no. So everybody, you have your opportunity to let your voice heard and just be a part of bringing our mascot to life. He's sitting in my living right now, just bare. He's all naked. We got to paint him. Plus a bunch of details. So it's something that we're doing in a collaboration with, again, my Tashi Station channel and Starlight Digest. That contest will run till Thursday. After Thursday, the winner is the winner, and I'm gonna start painting him, and he'll be revealed on both channels simultaneously if I can. But it's a fun, cool thing to do. And again, Pitt, let your voice be heard this week only. Go vote. There's 4 choices that we narrowed it down from our Shadow Council, got to first dibs on that. So
I've been told that there might be, if it's Scum and Villainy is chosen, there might be a jetpack added to him too.
We could still do an Imperial jetpack. We could still. By the way, tiebreakers.
Oh, okay.
No,
but also, like Moocher is saying, Tashi Station Emporium, make sure you go there, subscribe, pick up your figure stands. These figures stand only with Tashi Station Emporium figure stands. So yeah.
Stu John, in our community post on our YouTube channel, on the post, there is the latest one. You'll see the 4 different color schemes that we've got going on that are the 4 winners. And you could vote. You can change your vote up until Thursday. I don't know, midnight or whatever. I'm just going to take whatever's the winner, and I'm going to run with it. So,
I just dropped a link in the chat. So if you have not voted, there's a link in the chat. Hit that link. Make your vote.
I'll run it. Yeah, this is democracy at its best. It is what it is.
Right.
If it's Scum and Villainy, then it's Scum and Villainy. Hey, I'm actually good with anything because I've got.
I am
ideas.
too. They all look great.
I've got ideas for it all, and it's
Scum
not
and Villainy sounds the best though.
Right.
That's it. That's the one.
Look what's
Scum and Villainy.
We have over 60 votes now, which is great. Again, you guys are letting your voice be heard, and it's something that it's cool that we wanted to bring as a whole. Our 6th member of Sarlacc, he brings it in, and everywhere you'll see us live to any shows, he'll be there too.
Wow.
Yeah. So
probably including our May 4th event, which is going to be happening up here. We've got a bar just down the street. We're going to have a May 4th trivia event again, the return of our trivia contest and toy drive. So
it's gonna be fun. I got plans. Oh my god, there's some cool things that I've got to get out of here. To make it happen. It's gonna be the best May 4th that we got going. But thank you guys so much for your time. Pitt, you guys are always on fire. Remember, this is a hobby. There's no room for bullying. You can let your voices be heard all day long. You could be constructive about it. You could be happy about it. Let Hasbro know even if something works and you like it, let them know too. But the world is chaotic enough to add collecting plastic into the bullying fray. We got enough problems. You know what I mean?
They're not Happy Meal toys.
See, there's a difference.
Yeah, whatever. Whatever.
Yeah, there's a difference between hazing and bullying. You know?
Right? It's a fine line.
Yeah. But just know that you guys will be met with some resistance.
Yes.
You know,
no tolerance.
And zero tolerance. But yeah, if anybody's interested in anything more of this, like just go over to Tashi Station. I've got some things happening. So you know, can't let these 3D printers idle, man. It's boring. So
got more
with
miles
that,
on my car.
I think we're done. Hybrid toy reviews. I'm just gonna put that right there. Go check out his channel. Yes. And it'll back up everything that I just said. So
yes, sir.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a good night. With that, Scott.
Keep it nerdy, everybody.
This is Grand Admiral Thrawn. You are listening to the Sarlacc Digest. What a fascinating play on words.